Welcome to the Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew and let's get to the show.
Keep rolling. What? Rolling. Yeah, now I know y'all be loving this right here.
Yeah.
G-R-I-N-D. Too many letters. Welcome to the Daily Grind. Is it too many letters? Now I'm saying L-I-M. Yep, one too many letters.
Yeah, one too many.
We can
I
spell.
even got the red hat. We got the red hat this morning. We're killing it with the Limp Biscuit this morning.
Fred, if you're watching, which I know you are, big fan of the show, come hop on, brother. Welcome to the Daily Grind. This is not Limp Biscuit. We are Luke Hatmaker, your host, and Rusty. How are you, sir? Are you good on this Tuesday? I got my days right. My days of the week are correct now.
You did. Yeah, I am good. You know, I'm a little disappointed. Maggie and I went to a show last night in Memphis, and they said they had a pony that could sing. And we were all excited to watch this pony sing, but then the manager came out and said, unfortunately, he can't perform. Turns out he's a little hoarse.
Yeah! I had never heard that one before. But my brain, I don't know.
Connect the dots.
My brain's working faster than it normally does, and I don't know why that is. I was like, I got my days of the week white. Okay, I ruined it. Anyway, let's just, I can't talk. We got stuff to talk about. Shout out King Meek. Shout out everybody. Limp Biscuits. Don't eat Limp Biscuits. Shout out everybody joining us. Let's get to it, man. Jalen, we woke up with a little bit of morning this morning. Good God. Let's try to talk correctly. A little bit of news this morning. One Drew Holiday was traded to the Portland Trail Blazers for Anthony Simons in 2 seconds. That is what I find interesting is there are three gentlemen in the NBA currently who are two-time NBA champions. Only three, and all three of those gentlemen have been traded within one single calendar year. Alex Caruso got traded last year. KCP was traded this year. Now you got Drew Holiday traded. I don't know. This is clearly an archetype of player that people want. Who got the least? That's probably like who? Which one of these three had the least value, the most value? I don't really know, man. This is weird.
I mean, honestly, it's like a weird. My first two thoughts were: A, that's all it took to get Drew Holiday, and B, Portland's weird, right? Like they're kind of that in-betweener kind of team. Like, are they tanking? No, because they played hard last year and they fought down the stretch, which I am a fan of. So. Yes. This feels very much like a move that obviously Boston is trying to create some cap spaces, gets him about, I think I saw where they're still going to be about 3.6 million over the first apron, but it gets them down a little bit. And then Portland has still got like 12 million to play with. And so this is a kind of a good financial move for both. And then it gives Portland a veteran leader, a 3-and-D wing kind of guy. And also the original framework of the trade that was sending, I think it was was it the Porzingis trade or one of them that was supposed to send somebody to Boston, was supposed to send Drew Holiday to Portland, but the framework kind of fell through and he ended up going to Bartlett, Tennessee.
We're both
Boston. Yeah, man. Wow. Are we sure it's not Monday?
I don't know.
Was supposed to go to Portland then, goes to Boston, and now he ends up in Portland again. Honestly, like I think it's a good trade for both teams. Anthony Simmons is one of those guys, or Simon's one of those guys that's like hot and cold. Either Portland fans really like him or they really don't. They're frustrated with some of his inconsistencies, but it gets you a vet leader in Drew Holiday who has, like you said, championship experience, Luke, and can lead an up-and-coming team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you said the word weird because this is a weird Portland team. There's a lot of dudes that I think I like. I like Danny Avdija. I like
Donovan Clingan.
I liked Anthony Simons. I like Shane Sharp. Shane Sharp? No, that's not his name. Yeah. I mean, we've got some dudes that I like. Johnson Phillips.
I mean, this feels like a move that kind of Portland's saying, like, hey, like we're not going to be that bottom dweller next year, right? Clingan looked good in big stretches last year. He's not an offensive force, but he's a great defender. Drew Holiday can shoot threes at a high clip. We saw that particularly in Memphis. Ask the Knicks about that. Like he can absolutely go on a heater, and he just brings the toughness and an edge on defense that a young team needs. This feels like a move like Memphis needs to make, which we kind of did getting KCP, but getting that vet leader that's been there. I think this is a great move in Portland. To Edward's point, like Portland has already come out and said that we're keeping Drew Holiday to help build around and develop this team.
Yeah, and I Edward, shout out. To me, this is like they must really believe in Scoot. They must be like, Scoot's our guy. We're gonna build around him. Well, I mean, we'll see. Drew's the guy that I think every team in the league would want. I just think
he's like just the ultimate like vet glue guy. And spoiler alert, we got some glue guys coming up later in the show. Yep. But like there's glue guys, and then there's Drew Holiday, and he's a championship level glue guy who does the little things well. Personally, like I'm going to keep an eye on Portland next year, especially if they don't restructure a ton. Obviously, Denny Avdia might be on the move and coming to Memphis. Hopefully, fingers crossed. As a guy I'd love to see in Memphis. But if not, Portland's going to be a team to keep an eye on. Not that Drew Holiday makes him a championship contender, but that's going to be a scrappy team that I don't think you want to mess with.
Scrappy team in the West that is already full of scrappy teams top to bottom. It's like, add another one to the list.
Great. Another one that Memphis has to deal with. Oh, boy.
Hey, goodness, I love it. Let's talk about an East team for a second, because we got to talk about a team that is in rebooting or retooling mode. Because, I know what I'm saying now. I'm right. This is the last team that we will be talking about whether or not they should be rebooting or retooling. It's the Indiana Pacers because, spoiler alert, Oklahoma City probably shouldn't do either. So we're going to talk about,
and they don't have to because they got $1 bazillion in cap space.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Pacers. And I shout out, you sent me this, and you know what? I forget about these every year. Shout out Bobby Marks. He does these awesome, Bobby Marks from ESPN. He does these awesome little screenshots about like player off seasons that I forget how great they are. They're free. That's really great. They say nothing in life is free. These are free, and they're really wonderful. So quick look at the Pacers coming up off season. They are in an interesting situation because their starting five are Tyrese Halliburton, who we know had an Achilles injury, is going to be out. You doctor asked Dr. Buckets. You did a great breakdown of that yesterday. What to expect, what it's like. Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Pascal Siakam, and Tony Bradley is their starting center as of now. Their reserves include, these are guys under contract. They got TJ McConnell, one of us, Ben Shepherd, Belmont till I die, go Bruins, and Benedict Mathurin. Then they also got Jarris Walker, Johnny Furphy, Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin is listed lower. Weird. Man, Obi Toppin's good. This is a deep team. Their projected salary heading into next year is $168 million. The tax threshold is 187.8. First apron's 195. Second apron 207. Blah blah blah. They're impending free agents. This is where it gets interesting. They got Isaiah Jackson, James Johnson, Miles Turner, Thomas Bryant, Tony Bradley, Quentin Jackson, and Enrique Freeman. They also have a couple of exceptions, and they're picking 54th in the draft on Thursday. The biggest thing looking at this for me is the Miles Turner piece of it. Really, that's the, because obviously this team has enough going with them. A reboot is they need to stay as far away from a reboot as they can. Look at it. There's no need to reboot with the roster that we just mentioned.
No.
The biggest retool for me is what do they do with that Miles Turner spot? Because that's the free agent. That's the guy who cost himself a bag. We talked about it. I just don't know. I don't know if he's willing to take. I just don't know. The biggest question mark on their offseason, their retooling of their team heading into offseason is the Miles Turner piece for me.
Yeah, so they've got two max players, which is kind of the mold, right? We've talked about this, and Indiana's going to be the mold. They've got Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam on ascending deals, both capping out at, Siakam caps out at $52.2 million in 27-28, and Tyrese Halliburton at $55.6 in 28-29. So those guys were locked up for a long time. Also, TJ McConnell is on an $11 million deal until 2028-2029. Well done, Indiana, locking up the Great White Hype. So you've got Obi Toppin through 27-28, Nembhard 27-28. Mathurin is on a team option both this year and next year, so there's some fancy footwork that can be done there. But Miles Turner is interesting. You just said they've got about $20 million in space before they start getting into the tax threshold where you start paying taxes, and then obviously it goes up exponential in the first apron, and it's basically it feels like a death sentence in the second apron because everybody's avoiding it like the plague. So Miles Turner is interesting. He was at $19.9 million at the last year of his contract. The Pacers have $20 million in cap space before taxes. Are they willing to go into that bit of a luxury tax in order to pay Miles Turner, who I know Wayno loves, but I was less than impressed with in the playoffs? Yep. He just didn't quite rise to the occasion. Yes, I understand he set the table for some other dudes, but like, if I'm a Pacers fan, I'm a little bit upset that his role was to set the table for Obi Toppin, right? Like, no offense to Obi Toppin out there, but Miles Turner is supposed to be a max type player. You didn't get a max type player effort in the playoffs. Defensively, maybe, but you needed him, especially in Game 7, to step up offensively. And my guy couldn't hit water if he fell out of the boat. And so that's an interesting one, Luke. I'm going to ask you, do you think Miles Turner is worth going into the luxury tax for, or will they allow him to shop around?
Man, it's tough because I like Wayno. I really like Miles Turner.
I like Miles Turner. I'm not gonna say I don't.
I don't know in this new NBA with the cap. I don't know if he's a player that I would be willing to go into the cap for. When you look at this model of like, it's been clear that he has been flirting on the fringes of being their big three guy, with Pascal and with Halliburton. You don't need that in this league anymore, and you don't need it defensively. He's amazing, but in the bright lights, if he's going to be if he's going to shrink like he did, and it wasn't that he just shrank, it was just like as the playoffs went on, each series he disappeared further and further and further and further and further, and that's
also proven that he can't play with certain types of players. Right? They had Domantas Sabonis, and they couldn't figure it out, so they shipped off Sabonis, part of the Halliburton trade. And now Domantas Sabonis is one of the best rebounding centers in the league, and Miles Turner is still kind of floundering a little bit. Again, don't come out with pitchforks in the comments. Miles Turner is a good NBA player. I just don't know that he's worth a max type contract that he thought he was worth, given the playoff performance. Now, again, he's going to get paid probably by Indiana. This is probably a moot conversation. They're going to pay him whatever it takes to keep him, as they probably should.
Yes.
But also, what if there's a team out there that has something that Indiana needs, right? Like a consistent three-point threat, or maybe another big physical center that you could do some fancy footwork and improve your team by putting Miles Turner out there for somebody else to get. Just spitballing here. I know the Lakers need a center. I know the Warriors need a center. There's a lot of teams out there that need centers that might can bring you back a couple pieces that helps Indiana get better. I think it's worth exploring, but at the end of the day, I do think they button up Miles Turner for a more team-friendly deal than he probably would have commanded had he had a good playoff series, playoff season.
That's a good point. It's like they are in a very shout out Jared. I see Clint Capella's a free agent.
Clint Capella. I mean, Larry Nance. You can get Larry Nance on a vet min and bring him in, right? There are players out there who do what Miles Turner does, and Miles Turner didn't show me that he did anything extra special to earn that big contract. And so I'm curious. This is one that I'm curious to see how this one plays out with the draft pending tomorrow night.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what his team tells him he should do, because it's like they could be like, listen, brother, you cost yourself a lot of money here, but to take team friendly. Indiana's in a unique situation.
Take the money and run.
Take the money and run. Yeah, they could be like, take the money Indiana offers you, because one, if you're Miles Turner, do you really want to go to the West? First of all, I just, if I'm the Indiana and I'm Miles Turner, I just think that this is a marriage they would want to continue.
If I'm Indiana, I'm making it happen. I'm talking to his team and saying, look, we'll give you maybe a 3 or 4 year deal with an option to, renegotiate in a couple of years. Should we, need to, because of an all NBA or DPOI or whatever that looks like. But you made a great point. If I'm him, like Desmond Bane, think about this, Luke. Desmond Bane has a puncher's chance at an all-star spot next year with Tatum, Hallie, and Dame all being out for the year. Miles Turner is in that same boat. Again, you never want to duck competition. It feels like all NBA players want to end up in the Western Conference. You're playing against elite level talent and teams. But maybe he stays. Maybe he feels a little bit partial, and maybe the food in Indianapolis is really good. I don't know.
They got St. Elmo's Steakhouse, which is really good.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to see. I mean, the draft being tomorrow is exciting. Speaking of the draft being tomorrow, we got one more guy that we want to talk about in terms of trade up people. I'm going to have Chip on the show tomorrow. We're going to have just a deep dive crash course and a bunch of guys that he thinks we might get at 16. I'm excited. I'm really excited for tomorrow. it's been kind of fun getting a draft pick in a week and just cramming all this knowledge in a week. It's kind of nice to not get burned out on the draft process, to be like have a little week of it and be really excited. This gentleman that he has recommended to me as a potential name, and I believe he's actually worked out for the Grizzlies, it could be wrong, is Colin Murray Boyles. This is a South Carolina sophomore. He is a tweener big. The biggest comps that I've seen by a lot of people are Draymond Green. Like that. I mean, to a lesser degree, Xavier Tillman, you know, like that undersized big who has such a unique skill set that, if utilized properly, could make or break a team. My biggest thing is you are, because of his hyper specific skill set and what he does, you are doubling down on youth if you take this guy, because you're drafting him knowing that he will have to play, I think. Yeah.
Again, I'm very much team trade back with Brooklyn. That 27th pick looks really nice. Cam Johnson, I don't know if y'all have heard of him, might fit well in Memphis, but anyway. Murray Boyles is definitely a project. He has potential to be like a key rotational player with some starter upside. Again, he's 6'8", 240. He's a bit kind of that tweener. We have one of those in a guy named Brandon Clark. He's a high motor guy. He's very gritty, tough, like just a tough player, which we need in Memphis for sure. Very active hands, plays with an intensity. He was the best player on a really bad South Carolina team, so he didn't quite get the hype that maybe he would have gotten had he been on a better team. But he averaged 16.8 points, 8.3 boards, 2.4 assists, 1.5 stocks per game, again, on a bad South Carolina team. I mean, yeah, he's very physical. He relies on bully ball quite a bit. Doesn't have quite the touch that a Zach Randolph had, but kind of plays in that same vein. You know, again, if this is a guy that we take as a flyer because we've made another move, we brought in a Cam Johnson or a Herb Jones or whatever, and this is the guy just to fill that last roster spot, then I'm fine with it. I think it could be a good pick. I don't know that he's a guy that we need to go and say, you know what, we're not going to trade to this year's 16th pick because we want Colin Murray Boyles. Yeah. But he's a guy that could fit there should we end up picking.
There's more than one redundancy here if we were to pick him. You know, he excels in the post. Edie excels in the post. The tweener stuff that he does, Brandon Clark does that. It's just they're, I don't know, good, really solid player.
He lacks a little bit of overall athleticism. Again, like reading his comp, like Draymond Green's a good one, but like Zach Randolph was also another one that like is a good comp for him because he plays bully ball. He's not going to be a transition type player, not an above the rim type player. But if we end up at 16, that's great. But I'm like Jared, like, if we're going to trade back that Brooklyn 27th pick, that Therio kid's going to be there. Like there's a lot of good that can happen there. Brooklyn owes us one. Yep. Let's make a deal happen for the picks, and I don't know, throw in Cam Johnson for our troubles.
Yeah, I say trade up targets. I think we're both team trade down.
Big time.
But Big time. We'll see though tomorrow, man. I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that pick does not stay where it is. We'll see though. Well, we're gonna take a quick break. Give you all a little bit of ounce of hope, and then when we get back, we have a hot Grizz summer to debut. We got picks numbers 12 through 10 coming at you right after this quick break.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderland Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code BluffCity for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are.
Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
And we are back. Man, two legit, really solid, awesome people and businesses there in the 901 area, y'all.
Yeah.
An Ounce of Hope. Check them out. Promo code Bluff City, Trilogy Tattoo. Check them out. I love their slogan. It was welcome. Was it welcome strangers, goodbye friends?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Richie's good people at Trilogy. Matt was a great tattoo artist for Kenny. I was there for that. Tattooing. It was a great experience, very clean, very friendly, warm environment, just a lot of like good vibes in there. It's a great spot. It's in the heart of like Memphis Tiger Nation there. They're big supporters of the city of Memphis. They've been there for 27 years. Shout out Richie and the gang there at Trilogy.
Man, it's you mentioned and you can tell in the pictures, the cleanliness of the building you walk into. You do not want to go sit down and get tatted up and you see like a rat scramble, unless it's Ratatouille and he's working the thingy.
Right.
You don't want to see a rat. Like that place looks clean. I would eat off that tattoo place.
It's very clean. It's a great safe environment. Again, they do piercings there, tattoos. It's a great place. Go check them out. Trilogy Tattoo, Richie and the gang are waiting on you to tell your story.
Piercings, you say? I don't have any piercings. It's just one of those things where I thought it would be, if I like walked into the show one day, just had like a giant, like a fishbone earring, just like, oh, what's up, guys?
Big
Daily
feather
grind.
hanging down. Like.
Yeah. You're like, welcome to the Daily Grind. I am your host, the Cat Maker, with my earring. I'm off the rails. I digress.
Voice all of a sudden.
It is time for another edition of our Hot Quiz Summer. The top 15 of 103. All right. We have the top 15 Grizzlies of all time. We have been debuting this list for you over the course of the summer. This is part 3, I think. These were voted on by our peers here at Bluff City Media. We also got some input from around the interwebs, but this is people that we voted on, and this is numbers 10 through 12. Let's go up here. Let's start with number 12. Brandon Clark.
Yeah.
He's just, we were just talking about glue guys. Like, I mean, you know what? You could say that about all 3 of them.
I'm about to say, these are your 3 Grizzly all-timer glue guys, right? And Brandon Clark, for me, I had him, I think, a bit higher on my list. I'm a bit biased. I love me some Brandon Clark. I think he was top 10 all-time for me because he's just been so consistent. Yes, injuries have cut down on his couple last seasons, but he earned an All-NBA first-team rookie his rookie year. Yep. He is also the Grizzlies' career leader in field goal percentage at 61%. He's also, Luke, I looked this up last night. He's also the all-time leader in two-point field goal percentage at 64%.
Really? That's
and if you look back, if you look at like a wins above replacement type baseball thing that they do, and you look at like our all-time winningest lineups, like he's in like 3 of the top 5 when he's paired with Jaren, when he's paired with Jaren and Santi, when he's paired with Jaren and Ja. Like he is just a winning basketball player. He makes winning plays. We used to always say, Chris Vernon coined the term Xavier Tillman when you need him. It's truly Brandon Clark when you need him. He's in the top 5 all time in blocks. And just Jared, I'm a baseball junkie, man. You know I'm going to bring up the war. But like he is just an all-time glue guy, Luke. And one of my personal favorite Grizzlies. I will stand for BC until I die and will always fight for him to be on this team. Brandon Clark is truly an all-timer.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. As you were to talk about he's the definite of this new the Grizz next gen, whatever the post skirt and grind era. He is the through line. He is the constant. He is exactly what you said, the glue that has held that iteration of the team together. And it's, you can see how much the team needs him. They're just so much better with him on the floor. As you mentioned with all those stats you just said, it's amazing.
He's quickly endeared himself to Maggie as the newish Grizz fan, watching him and how he hustles and plays. We are very pro Brandon Clark. Then I sent her the picture of him from his story in the Harry Potter robe when he's over in Japan touring, and she's like, "All right, all-time favorite."
My guy. That's my guy. Oh, man.
We love BC around here.
We love him.
And this is a great point. In that playoff run, like we don't win against the T-Wolves. He was integral in that deep playoff run, 21-22, before all the injuries happened. But BC is you think about some of the biggest moments in the Grizz next gen history, and BC's in the middle of them. This year,
he tapped every rebound he tapped out, every single one. Game 2 of that series.
Who was closing out on Minnesota on MLK Day, right? Against Ant, going for the game-winning shot, but Brandon Clark, he's always in the right place. I could do a whole episode talking about Brandon Clark. I'm going to digress, but BC should have been higher.
I think you did have him the highest. I think
he's like
Battier is number 11. Some of these guys, I think a lot of people put on the list because of name recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Shane Battier, number 11. This is another one of those dudes. It's for those of us who first started, like when this team first came in here, first came to the 901. This was our guy. Him and Powell and Lorenzen and the guy we're about to talk about next. Like these guys were our they were our team. We love these dudes.
We picked Shane Battier 6 overall in the 01 draft. So he was he was our first draft pick for the Memphis Grizzlies coming in. He was an all rookie type player. He's one of 2 Grizz on your screen who had 2 separate stints with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yep.
And then he came back in the middle of the grit and grind in 2011 and just kind of helped further solidify that grit and grind era. He wasn't as productive as a player the second time around, but at that point he was just that glue locker room guy, much like Vince Carter was. But he came in here. Shane Battier loves Memphis, did a lot for the city. He's just one of those good dudes who was also a hooper. But again, when he first came to Memphis, man, he was averaging like 14 and 5. Like he was a good basketball player, and he had some big moments in Grizzly uniforms. Just a hard worker, again, a high character guy, really invested in the city of Memphis while he was here. And for that reason, Shane Battier was also in my top 12, and I'm a big Shane Battier fan.
Yep. And he's another guy that just endeared himself to the city of Memphis. I see Edward went to the Shane Battier B-ball camp. So you mentioned the moments, that big 3 to win game 1 against the Spurs, man, like ingrained in my mind. And speaking of people, you might just call this whole list of dudes, these 3 right here, they have just endeared and ingrained themselves in the city. Because coming in at number 10 is Mike Miller, a guy who
let it fly.
Man, when I think of the archetype of dirty white boy that every team has that shoots threes, I think of Mike Miller. Just like the outside of Jaren, the only NBA award winner out, Jaren and Mark, right? Like, because Mark and Jaren won Defensive Player of the Year. Mike Miller was Sixth Man of the Year.
Sixth Man of the Year. He also shot like 50% from the field from his rookie year. He only played part of the season his rookie year, but like he was lethal and could have been considered for an all rookie team.
No doubt.
But he, again, just another glue guy that was intricate to the development of grit and grind and the furtherment of this franchise for sure. And also, again, one of 2 people on this list who had 2 separate stints with the Grizzlies.
Yep. And I love Mike Miller lives in the city of Memphis now. He has come back and put roots here. He started the dude has a sports agency that he like. One of the people,
he had a restaurant here for a while. Like he invested in this city. Another guy who, again, contrary to popular opinion, he came to Memphis and he loved it and he set up roots and he wants to stay here. He's still involved and invested in the community. Does a lot of AAU basketball stuff here in the city. Like piss on all these national media members crapping on Memphis. The guys who come here love it here.
Yes, and Mike Miller, to me, is in the top, the first 5 players you mentioned in terms of guys that came, played here, loved the city, and stayed. Mike Miller's up there. And we were mentioning that there's that before the grit and grind, when this was just a scrappy team just trying to claw their way into recognition. A lot of these guys, man, like Battier and Powell and Lorenzen and Mike Miller, like they gave us, it's not like gave us hope sounds so stupid, but they gave us basketball that we could be proud of and cheer for. And that's awesome.
100%, man. It gave us a product that we could be proud of, right?
Yep.
And Mike Miller was a huge part of that. And he's a guy that we could use right now, like a true, like lethal catch and shoot 3-point, assassin. we could use him right now, but you're absolutely right. Like him, Shane Battier as well. Were kind of they laid the foundation of a product we could be proud of to have Memphis across the front of that jersey. And I'll always be grateful. I'm also grateful that era of basketball is over when they were playing those board shorts that came down. They were almost like Guy Freeze with massive shorts, right? Kind of glad that era is over and we're back to more normal fitting clothes. But I will forever appreciate Mike Miller hooping in Guy Freeze.
Man, I have my one little. I mean, you saw maybe you didn't get a good look at my legs this weekend. I got chicken legs. They're like
sure.
I'm a perfectly proportional sized man, and then you get to my legs and they're like this long. In those shorts that those boys used to hoop in, I look like it's like two stick people with hats on. It's absurd.
I'm a big believer in, I work really hard. I go to the gym. I do legs like 3 days a week. I'm a big believer in skies out, thighs out. So those shorts are not for me.
Skies out, thighs out. I love it. This, I think, if we were to just have I was really excited to talk about this grouping here because I think if you were to go, these might be the three most universal, like the highest acclaim consistently out of all the people in Memphis might be these three guys. And I was
the
really
only one
excited
I
to
would
talk about them.
Add to that is my goat, Bano Udrih. He's another one that everybody loves. Like, he belongs on this list with these guys, right? They're just glue guys that are unheralded. They're not great basketball players, but they do one thing really well, and that's hustle their ass off. And I would build a team with guys like this.
Me too. You put these three guys on a starting five for me. I'm a happy man.
I mean, you're only going to score like 74 points, but still, you're going to have fun watching.
Neither here nor there, my friend. That's not what we're talking about. Last thing before we get out of here, brother, and we're in the top 10 now, and there's some names we're going to talk about, so we're going to be bringing those in the rest of the summer for Hot Grizz Summer, so keep an eye out. But before we get out of here, brother, we got a tube because it's Tuesday, and I know my days of the week, and I know what we do on Tuesday. It's not as confusing as Monday's being for lasagna because it's just 2 words, and it's just talking about watching TV. So what are you watching, brother?
Yeah, so I've got a new show that Maggie turned me on. First, we watched a movie over the weekend in Nashville called The Ritual. It's a bit of an older, scary movie where these guys go hiking in the Swedish. It was so sinister. It was so good.
That movie scared the shit out of me when I saw it. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was when I saw it. I was in a weird spot, and that movie shook me. Oh, my God. Sorry.
Yeah, so it was great. Like, it was, and the more I thought about it, I'm like, that's truly like a sinister movie because they have these nightmares. Not to give away too much, but we only find out what 2 of the nightmares are. We don't even know what the other ones are. Like, there's so much left untold, which makes it even scarier. So watch The Ritual.
The creature at the end.
Yeah, I think it's wild. And then also watch. So Maggie, I've been watching Worst Roommate Ever on Netflix.
Oh,
brand new show to me. Like, my roommate's quirky and he does some weird stuff, but I am grateful that, like, at least he ain't murdering. At least he ain't doing these other things and trying to kill me in my sleep for an insurance policy. I don't think he's taking an insurance. I don't think he's taking out an insurance policy on me, and he hasn't tried to murder me yet.
He's right behind you, sir, by the way.
Anyway, watch Worst Roommate Ever on Netflix. It is wild.
Man, I'm glad you see. I need new stuff to watch. I don't know why. I literally yesterday while I did some work around the house, I was like, you know what sounds fun to watch? The original 3 Star Wars movies.
I thought you were going to say Harry Potter.
No. Oh, no. That was last night.
Right.
That's mine and Kyla's like happy place, except the second movie. I skipped the second movie. I don't know why. It's my least favorite. But yeah, I'm in old. I'm glad you said Worst Roommate Ever because I've never watched that. I've heard it. Dude. It's like one of those, and if it's good,
so good, man.
None.
It's so good. I'm telling you.
So there is a show that I have been wanting to watch. That's what I'll do for my tube and Tuesdays. I've been seeing a show advertised on HBO called The Mortician. It looks like a true crime documentary series about a funeral director who was doing nefarious things to the bodies. And the dude looks like I haven't watched it. I just watched the trailer. And my family owns a funeral home. And so I'm just like, what is this? What is this?
He looks like the guy. He looks like Adam Silver in the crowd the other night, right? Like standing there looking like the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. He looks like Adam Silver, but like a more violent Adam Silver, which is really creepy. Wait, Empire Strikes Back is my no. Empire's.
He's
my
talking about Harry
Jerry.
Potter. You're talking about Harry. He's talking about Harry Potter is the second movie you skipped.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. Sorry, I switched gears. Harry Potter's my least favorite. Empire Strikes
You got
Back.
to keep up, Jared. You got to keep
Sorry,
up.
Jared.
Man. We roll around here.
This is like 17 cups of coffee. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back's the greatest movie of all time.
I can confirm after having brunch with Luke on Sunday, he did hammer about 24 cups of coffee. So
I can't
just know
help
that's
it, man. It's like liquid IV. They're like.
I mean, I had about 13, but it wasn't quite wasn't quite keeping up.
Yeah, and it's fine. It's fine. My heart's fine. That's gonna do it for our show today. We're gonna be back tomorrow, guys. The draft is tomorrow. So I'm gonna have Chip on this show. We're gonna really quick because he's good doing my show than doing Jess Benson. So we're gonna do a real quick talk about best targets. You've got the Suns reporter on tomorrow, right?
Yeah. So Kenny and I are gonna be interviewing Benjamin Garcia. It's at Ben Garcia Show on Twitter. He hosts a local show. He also does a Locked On Suns. He's an Emmy Award winner, so it's kind of a big get for the 2 Buck Sports Show. So super excited to talk Kevin Durant trade. Again, we're going to prep him for the Dillon Brooks experience. It's going to be a great interview. Y'all come hang out with us.
Oh, I'm so excited for the Dillon Brooks part. I forget.
I can't wait to be like, so tell me what you think about Dillon Brooks.
What do you know about Dillon Brooks?
May I interest you in a Dillon Brooks?
You show him on your phone. You're like, let me show you something real quick. It's just him clotheslining Gary Payton.
That's it. Poking bears.
Yes. Thank you guys for watching, y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, have a great day today. If we can leave you with anything, remember these 2 things. Remember to be a little weird, just a little bit. Remember to smile. Bye, guys. Have a good day.